Wow, UFC 274 has just finished and I'm absolutely blown away. Charles Oliveira, you will forever have my respect. Wow. I mean, listen, Oliveira dropped the ball. He missed weight. We know that. But forget about that. Who cares? Who cares about half a pound when the man is going out there and absolutely thrilling audiences like that? I mean, that was incredible. Take a bow, my friend. I mean, come on. I mean, wow. And that main event saved the card. It did, because it was one of those. The co-main event, Carla Esparza versus Roland Namajunas. We'll get to that in a minute. That wasn't what we all signed up for. You know, it wasn't what we expected, was it? Let's be honest. And well done to Carla Esparza. As I say, we'll get to that in just a second. We are here to talk about the champion of the world. Let's be honest. The champ. Charles Oliveira is the champ. Charles the champ. Oliveira, do Bronx, stand up, stand tall, respect Brasilia, make some noise. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, what this man is doing is unbelievable. I mean, here he is against Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is a formidable opponent. He's a very, very tough man. He's got a chin of iron. He's got the wrestling. He's got the wow factor. He'll walk forward. He'll go through anything what he has to win a goddamn fight. But that was sensational. What he just did, what Charles Oliveira did. In fact, what both men did. Let's be honest, right? You've got to give all credit to both men. That one round of action was some of the best 3-4 minutes, whatever it was, that you'll ever see in the UFC. Both men had some big moments. Right at the start, the moment the fight started, Charles Oliveira walked forward, and I suspected that this might happen. When you're someone like Charles Oliveira, and by the way, my next door neighbour, Anderson Souza, he's a Brazilian fella. I messaged him straight away when I was watching the feature, because it said Charles Oliveira was talking about his parents. He says his mum and dad can't even read all right. He said maybe my mum can a tiny bit. I was like, wow. Could you imagine the upbringing, the adversity, the poverty, what this man has had to endure his entire life, and then to get to this stage? It's so impressive. It really is. And then to miss weight, and as I said yesterday, that's his fault. He's got to own that. He owns that. He does. He's not making excuses. He owned that. He missed weight. He messed up. That's on him. But you can look at it two ways. You can either feel sorry for yourself. You know, he's stripped of the belt. He's going to lose money. He might have lost his pay-per-view points. He might have lost out on the amount he was going to get contracted, because his contract may have reverted back to pre-championship money. I don't know. There are possibilities. So therefore, he could have a very defeatist, a very feel sorry for myself attitude. Or, as I said on the video yesterday, he could use it as motivation. Use it as motivation to show the world, listen, I'm still the champ. I'm the Bronx Oliveira. I am the man with the most submissions in the history of the UFC. And I'm going to take this guy out and I'm going to get my belt back immediately. And that's what he did. And I thought that yesterday when I saw them at the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-in, when Charles got in his face, I was like, wow, there's something about this man. He is on a mission. And that mission started the moment the referee said fight. Oliveira walked forward, landed a right hand straight away. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Gaethje was hurt, and I thought, wow, here we go. But then Gaethje, being the man that he is, because he ain't no walk in the park. He ain't no pussy, right? Gaethje came to fight, and Gaethje came to win. And that's what made that few minutes so spectacular. Because Gaethje hurt him. Gaethje dropped him. Gaethje had the wherewithal, the smart, the fight IQ, the logic, whatever you want to call it, to not follow him down to the ground. I mean, you shouldn't do that. The man has the most submissions in the history of the UFC. I mean, his record is absolutely incredible. It just is. It just is. It's just absolutely goddamn wild. Let's take a look here at his record. I mean, he's got 15 wins via submission, the most in the history of the UFC, right? And what he did tonight, I'm just blown away. I'm lost for words. I was screaming my head off. I like Justin Gaethje. I love Justin Gaethje. I love Trevor Whitman, right? I'm a huge fan. But the story of Charles Oliveira just inspires me. It really does. And to see what he's done. And now to be on the win streak that he is just absolutely phenomenal. Right? And to have I mean, look at this. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee, Jared Gordon, Nick Lentz. Okay, the name value, the star power goes down a little bit from there. But still, who cares? Right? That was amazing. And then he hurts him, he drops him, he takes his back. I thought he took the back. He was trying to get the rear naked choke. I thought he was going to switch to an armbar. He didn't do that. Justin Gaethje, being the warrior that he is, he gets back to his feet. Well, he starts scrambling. Charles, being the jiu-jitsu expert that he is, takes the back, locks in the choke. And Justin, I feel for you, buddy. I do, I feel for you. He's trying to fight the hands. He's trying to do his best. He was not going to quit. Okay, he did tap, but he tried. He tried, and he was going. He was going. He was about to go. He's like, all right, whatever. That's that. Charles Oliveira. And still, no. There's no one. No one's the champ. Nobody is the champion of the world right now. But make no mistake, Charles Oliveira will be fighting for that belt in his very, very next fight. And as we saw, he called out Conor McGregor. And that's, you know. And by the way, I just want to say shout out to his cornerman. Shout out to Charles Oliveira's cornerman, all with the same coloured hair. My God, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I love it. I love the support. I love how much they support him going into there. It really, you can tell they're all really are brothers. So anyway, he called out Conor McGregor. Conor doesn't really deserve a title fight, but so what? It'll be fun. I'd like to see it. Conor should take it. Charles Oliveira would make a lot of money, but hold on, it just occurred to me, with him not being the champion, he might not get the pay-per-view cut. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I don't know the UFC. That's their discussion. I don't know. I hope he does. Conor should take that. He should take it. The only problem is Conor's walking around, 20 pounds heavier than usual right now. He's been lifting weights and eating well. So there we go. Anyway, that's the main event. Charles Oliveira. This man is just incredible. And I mean, incredible. Absolutely bloody incredible. Do not doubt this man. I used to. I mean, I'm looking at some images here of him. I was trying to find images of the fight, but it just happened. Literally just happened. So we've only got old stuff. We've only got promos. We've only got stuff like that. Anyway, co-main event was the opposite of the main event. Right? We just saw one of the most exciting rounds in MMA history. I'll go that far. You're crazy, Bisping, but no, yeah, I'll go that far. That was one of the most exciting rounds in MMA history. I was screaming at the top of my voice. I FaceTimed my Brazilian neighbour. I was losing my mind. My wife was cheering hard for Justin Gaethje, and I commiserate with Justin Gaethje. I do, because he's a great guy. He's a great fighter. It wasn't meant to be. Charles Oliveira is better than all of them. Congratulations, Du Bronx. Anyway, co-main event, Rose Namajunas taking on Carla Esparza. I mean, where do we start with this one? Where do we start? I mean, let's take a look. I'm trying to find some decent images, but again, it's all too soon. But that image there, that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? That is the old one. That is the original fight 8 years ago. The original fight 8 years ago was a lot more eventful than the one tonight. The one tonight, it was a snooze fest. It was awful. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I can't sit here and polish a turd. I can't do that. I'm very respectful to all people that step foot in the octagon. Whether it's a boxing ring, Canelo just got beat tonight as well. Can you believe that? From Bivol. Too many weight classes. But whether it's a boxing ring or an octagon or just a mat, any kind of competitive area, I have respect for you. And I always try and find a spin, a positive spin. And after the first round or two, not throwing her under the bus, but my wife was like, this is awful. And I'm like, yeah, hold on. There's 5 rounds. They got 5 rounds. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Okay? They're being tactical. Rose is waiting for Carla to expose herself. She's waiting for her to shoot. She's trying to download data. She's trying to make reads. She's trying to find openings. She's trying to wait for Carla to make a mistake, to capitalize. Right? And she was. That is what she was doing. But at some point, you then have to throw caution to the wind. Because we were 4.5 rounds in and there was still very little action throughout the entirety of the fight. Dean Thomas had the best line of the night. After round 1, they went to Dean Thomas and said, right, what do you think? And I think Joe Rogan said, how do you score that? And Dean Thomas said, listen, I think everybody in the building lost that round. And it's true. It was a fantastic line by Dean Thomas. Shout out Dean. Because that first round was awful. Round 2 was awful. 3, 4 and 5 was goddamn awful. Okay? And whether you like it or not, Carla Esparza is the strawweight champion of the world, and congrats on your wedding next week. Have a beautiful time. Have a great honeymoon, right? But don't celebrate that fight. Celebrate being the champion of the world, because technically you did enough to win. And you deserve that, you do. Because I thought you did do enough to win. You did. But it was a terrible fight. My only issue with it, listen, it was a very strategic performance. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I take that back. It wasn't a strategic performance. Carla was trying to do her thing. Rose was being too cautious. Obviously, Rose has lost before, so there's demons there. The skeletons in the closet. Right? That provides a hesitancy to engage, to throw, right, to go for it. But at some point, you have to take a risk. At some point, you have to say, okay, well, I came here to fight. And I'm waiting for the perfect opening, but the perfect opening isn't presenting itself. So now I'm going to have to take risks. Now I'm going to have to go against what I've been told to do in training and take my time, because the reality is that I'm here to fight. You know, that you are here to fight. And yeah, sometimes going forward, you might walk onto a punch, kick, knee, elbow. You might get taken down, but that's what you're here for. That's why you're in a blessed position. That's why you get paid generously. You know, and I'm not bad-mouthing these ladies. I'm not saying everything you aren't thinking. I'm not saying anything that they aren't thinking when they watch the fight back. Rose Namajunas has provided some extreme excitement inside the octagon. So this is not her character. You know, it was just the mind. I talk about it all the time. I do. It's a physical sport, but this controls everything. All she remembers, I was taken down last time. And Carla was. The wrestling was very good. The takedown defense of Namajunas was very good. She was able to pop back up on multiple occasions. In fact, I should have said to her, I don't need to be so cautious, because when I have been taken down, I've popped right back up. So I'm a huge fan of Justin Gaethje, Rose Namajunas, and Trevor Whitman. And it's a real shame for that team tonight. It is. But Rose is going to be very angry with herself when she watches that back for not pulling the trigger. Because one thing is fighters, and I'm going to wrap this up in a second, but one thing is fighters, if you go out there, and this is a cliche, you know, it's almost conceive, believe, achieve it. But if you go out there and you empty the tank and you try your best and you go for it and you do everything you can, it's like, and you still couldn't win, it's like, well, I tried. And you know that, and you can sleep easy at night. Maybe not that easy, because you know there's someone better than you out there, right? If you want to be the champion, that's a world title fight, right? But if you try your best, if you empty the tank, you give it your all, and you still lose, you're like, well, at least I tried my best. I don't think either of them tried the best there tonight. So there we go. There we go. And you know what? If Charles Oliveira can lose his belt for coming in half a pound heavy, 8 ounces, then people can lose the belt for not showing up and fighting for 25 minutes. Anyway, listen, I just want to say, Charles Oliveira, I'm such a fan. That is just incredible. And I'm a fan of Rose Namajunas, and I'm a fan of Carla Esparza. I am just the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I'm a fan of them. I'm not a fan of the fight. Do you know what I mean? But I've just got to call it like I see it. I can't sit here and pretend it was great, a strategic, technical chess match, because it wasn't. It was two ladies participating in a fight that didn't want to take risks. And sometimes you got to. And I don't take any enjoyment out of saying that. But anyway, that aside, congrats, Carla. Well done. Hard to pick a winner, but she got it. And I think that was the right choice. If you had to pick a winner, she would have been it. Although I would have said, let's just cancel this fight and call it a no contest. That should have been a no contest, because there was no contest. Although, for what contest there was, it went to Carla Esparza. But Charles Oliveira, that was a contest. That was a contest for the ages. That was a round of all time. That is a contender for one of the best rounds you will ever see. Commiserations, Justin Gaethje. I feel for you, man. I really do. But Charles Oliveira, he's a son of a bitch, isn't he? Isn't he? Isn't he just? I hope he gets his belt back in the next one. I hope he gets a payday, because he goddamn bloody well deserves it. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got time for. Hold on, I'm going to get off that image there. I should be on bloody Charles Oliveira or something, shouldn't I? I mean, come on. Because that guy was just absolutely sensational. There it is. There's them at the weigh-ins. And you see the intensity right there from Charles Oliveira. And you see Justin Gaethje as well. Very confident. Very, very confident. And rightly so. Rightly so. But still, Charles, man, wow, unbelievable. Anyway, everyone that watching, appreciate the support for the channel. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. I'll be back real soon. Take care. Good night. Goodbye. I'm going to go to bed.